Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy and this is my first ever YouTube video with Sims content. I have been playing The Sims for a little bit now. I actually have really only played The Sims 4 in depth for a couple of years. I really love the game. So I finally decided I wanted to start a Sims YouTube channel to showcase the stuff that I do. But yeah, my name is Amy. I go to school in Orlando, Florida, and I live in Orlando, Florida. So that's where I'm from. I am an art major, which is very exciting and frustrating at all times. And I really love to build in The Sims. It's probably my favorite thing to do, so I think that's why I decided to go with a build for my first video. If you guys have no idea what this build is supposed to be, if you've seen the movie Gnomeo and Juliet, it's a masterpiece. I was inspired by the little townhouses in there. In the movie, there's these old couple. They're not a couple, but they are neighbors and they hate each other. And their houses are identical, but they are like, you know, opposite colors. So I think an old woman lives in the blue house and an old man lives in the red house. And the movie's about the gnomes. It's not about the old people who live in the houses, but they are the ones who have the gardens and keep the gnomes, you know, give them a home and all that. So it's a pretty good movie actually, but I don't really care about the movie all that much. I just thought the houses were really awesome and that they were like begging to be built in The Sims, so I did just that. The build I'm pretty proud of it. To be honest, I think that when I uploaded it to the gallery, I put it on a separate lot from this one because the lighting on this lot was not super awesome for taking a picture. And in doing that, I think for whatever reason, I put it on the same size lot and tried to like flip it around, but it cut the back of the fence off of it. So if you download this off the gallery, you're gonna have to put the back of the fence in, which is unfortunate. I'm sorry that I'm a fool and did not do that right. But it's already uploaded and I don't wanna take it down and re-upload it, so that's my own fault. But I think the build is really cute. It was very fun to do. I was looking at pictures from the movie the whole time, so I was pretty heavily following exactly what they looked like, but I also took a couple licenses where, you know, if something made more sense in The Sims, I did that instead of trying to do an exact replica of what I saw from the movie. The whole reason I even saw this movie was when I took my freshman year English class at high school. We read Romeo and Juliet, and our teacher was like, let's watch Gnomeo and Juliet, and it was very entertaining. So it's actually a pretty good movie. If you haven't seen it, you should probably watch it. Shakespeare's kind of good, I don't know. And so, yeah, I used pretty much every single pack in the game, so I'm very sorry if you can't download this build because it has a lot of different packs to be used, but that's just how I like to build. I'm gonna try and resist using every single pack in the future. I do have every pack. I've paid probably hundreds of dollars to EA. I don't want to think about it. Don't remind me. But yeah, so I would love to do some videos on here with like the limited packs challenge, or maybe picking like a specific theme. Doing base game only builds would be fun. So I'm definitely going to do a lot more videos soon. I think I'm going to try and be doing one a week for now. I am a university student and I also have a part-time job. I'm a bartender and a waitress at a restaurant, and I work at that place all weekend. So I don't know when I'm going to find the time to do videos for this channel, but I really wanted to do this for a long time, so I'm very excited. Talking about the build for a minute, this little thing that I just did with the sort of roof piece on top of a chimney is supposed to be, there's like I think it's Big Ben that is in the blue side of the house's yard. Obviously we don't have anything like that in the game, so I sort of just improvised and used this roof piece from, I think, Strangerville, and put it on a chimney. I think it actually looks pretty cool and worked out pretty well for what is, you know, available to us. I wish that we had this Tudor style paneling in the red and blue colors that the houses actually are in, but we don't, so I improvised with that as well. But yeah, the build took a long time to do. It's funny, so this is my first time ever recording myself doing a build, and I had no idea what I was doing the entire time. And so I could not get the footage down to a reasonable length with the furnishing and the building. So I actually only have the build in this video. I think I'm gonna upload the furnishing video footage next week probably. So if any of y'all are super curious about what the inside of the houses look like, I did include screenshots of the inside at the very end, but I have a whole backstory that I came up with for the Sims that might live in these houses, and I want to talk about it. So I think I'm probably gonna do a separate video with the footage of furnishing the inside of the homes, because I came up with such a just dramatic, detailed story for these guys. I think I'll also probably make the Sims and create a Sim for fun. That could be another video that I upload. I do think it's funny that I decided to make my first Sims video ever about a movie that I truly don't care that much about, but I don't know. I feel like your first video should probably be something that's really indicative of who you are and your interests, and I was like, Gnomeo and Juliet, let's do it. I like the movie. It's pretty good. I'm gonna stop talking about it now though, because it's really not that important. So yeah, I'm gonna do a separate video with the furnishing, and if you're super interested in hearing my elaborate backstory about these Sims, then you should definitely tune in to watch it. Giving some more details about myself if you're curious. I'm 21 years old and I have a boyfriend who is a film major. He is traveling right now for work, which I don't know why I picked this week of all weeks to start trying to actually make a video for YouTube, because I had no clue what I was doing the entire time. I downloaded Premiere for this and tried to figure everything out, and I did figure it out. It worked out okay, but I was messaging him every couple of hours being like, this doesn't work, oh my god, I'm such a failure, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, I don't know how to help you, I'm literally not currently there right now. So he's on a work trip, so I've been home alone for a bit, me and my cat. Yeah, I have a cat, her name is Panda. She's a tuxedo cat and she is a chonker. She's currently sitting on my bed behind me, probably sleeping. Yep, that's exactly what she's doing. I wish I had her lifestyle. She is just living her best life at all times. I actually do have to go work later today, so I really wanted to get this voiceover recorded for the rest of the day so I could upload this video as soon as possible. I have to go bartend tonight, which is fun. I enjoy bartending. It is probably my favorite thing to do at my job. It's a lot more fun than serving, but it is also a lot more work, and it's just me bartending tonight, so that means I'm there from when we start the second shift of the day and then until we close. And then I have an 8 a.m. in the morning, so that's my typical schedule. It's kind of rough. But yeah, I'm an art major. I am specifically majoring in studio art, and then you can pick a focus that you decide to sort of hone your skills on. I have gone with drawing/illustration. So I take a lot of figure drawing classes, and I'm going to be taking illustration classes. It's been a nightmare trying to get this major figured out because I switched my major a couple times, and college is stressful, and I'm just so ready to be out. I was supposed to graduate next year. My 4 years would have been in 2020, but I switched my major a couple times once again, and whenever you do that, it seems like everything just that can possibly go wrong goes wrong, and there's nothing you can do about it except to just suffer through it. So I have no idea how long I'm still going to be in school for, but I'm glad that I'm in a major that I enjoy. I think it's important to do that. I think you should always pursue the things that you can be passionate about, and that'll make it all the more worthwhile for you, because I already am stressed out enough with school, and if I was doing something that I wasn't super passionate about, I don't think it would be any easier. So that is my truth. I have some, strong life advice for y'all out there who are going to college. Maybe you're already in college and you just need to be reminded of that. But yeah, definitely always pursue what you're passionate about. I think that's also why I decided to start a Sims channel, because I really love playing The Sims. It's like my favorite thing to do when I have nothing else important to do. I also really love to draw, obviously, since I'm an art major. I am doing Inktober currently, and it's been really fun, but it's also been really challenging to get a drawing up every single day of the month. So that's been a lot of fun, and a lot of the art classes I'm taking have really cool homework assignments and stuff, so that's what I do in my free time is I draw, play The Sims 4, and a couple other games, but nothing serious. So back at the build again, we have pretty much the whole side of the blue townhouse finished from the front. It looks really cute. I loved the butterflies from the kids room stuff pack, I think, that I used, because the actual picture, the reference picture I was looking at, she has all these flowers and butterflies all over her townhouse, and I wish I could have included even more stuff like that, but we only have so many decorative items like that in the game. Making this fountain was fun. So in the actual movie and like the reference image, the red townhouse half has a little fountain in the front, and it's actually a little like cherub baby angel peeing in the lawn, and we don't have that, obviously. So I was like, well, we have that fish thing that spits out water. It's almost the same. So he is actually spitting water into nothing. Kind of didn't really think about that. If anything, he's he's an efficient sprinkler. He keeps the lawn looking fresh. So that was something that I had to kind of improvise with as well. But we're getting close to being done with the front, and the front of the build is the thing that I was really looking at, but the backyard is the thing that's like integral to the movie and the storyline and everything. So that's going to be fun when we get over there. If you haven't seen this movie, I should probably paraphrase it a little more for you. It's literally Romeo and Juliet, like the storyline, but gnomes, garden gnomes. And it's the same idea where the Capulets and the Montagues are two like rivalry neighbors, and then they have like a special princess / prince of each side of the gardens, and they fall in love, and everything is great. And it's a kids movie, so it does end quite happily, I will say. It's not a tragedy, just like the original Shakespeare play. So don't worry if you get super attached to these gnomes. Know that they have a great story. No one dies, at least from what I remember. I kind of can't remember the like fine details of this movie. It was pretty clever though. We also watched the like old Romeo and Juliet movie in that class, and I can't remember what year it was made, but it was really funny. It was cringy and just very much enjoyable. So, freshman year English class, am I right? I was always really good at English in high school, so I actually enjoyed taking English classes, and a lot of people, when we had to read Shakespeare, they would just read the Cliff Notes or the Spark Notes for it, and I was like, can't relate, I'm actually going to read this and suffer for no reason. We also had to memorize an entire monologue from Shakespeare's play, Romeo and Juliet. We had to do that for class, and it was basically an oral exam. We had to pick a passage from the play and then memorize it word for word, and then we stood in line outside the classroom and waited until it was our turn, and our teacher was like, all right, say your entire line, and it was really stressful and nerve-wracking. I think I picked something that Juliet says at some point, but that was hard. That was a difficult assignment. We also had to make really elaborate decorated folders for this Romeo and Juliet part of class. Like, we had to have a timeline, and it was all like classwork and assignments inside, but you had to decorate your folder, and I put so much work and effort into my like decoration of the folder. I got so many fancy stickers from Michael's craft store. I'm super proud of it, and I think I got like a low A on it, and I was really not pleased because I was like, I put my entire heart and soul into this. I should probably explain the toilet in the backyard. Again, if you have not seen the movie, the toilet is like the centerpiece of the Blue Side's lawn. I don't remember why or for what reasoning there is there, but I was like, I can't not have the toilet in this yard. And I don't think the toilet is meant to be huge. I think it only looks huge because you're always seeing little tiny garden gnomes next to it. But the Sims toilet, at its regular size looked really dinky and it's kind of dumb, just like sitting there in the middle of the yard. So I sized it up, and it's a little bit giant. I think if I put an actual Sim next to it, they would probably maybe not be as tall as this toilet, which is a little bit ridiculous. But at least the Sims shouldn't go to use the toilet. Hopefully they're already stopped by the little foliage around it, but I don't know. I've seen my Sims walk through solid walls before. I think they can do anything they want to at this point. So, but yeah, the toilet is like the centerpiece, so it's got to be there in the yard, no matter how weird it might be. The yards are definitely bigger in the movie than I was able to make them in The Sims. I mean, if I had picked a bigger lot, I could have done it, but I really didn't want to make a lot so huge that I felt the need to fill up all of it, and it might not have looked as good. So I decided to just pick out like the really important parts of each backyard and display them appropriately. Part of the reason I even wanted to do this build is because of the freaking like obscene number of gnomes that we have in the base game. I don't know, does anyone know why we have so many gnomes available to us? I mean, I think it maybe has been a thing in the Sims franchise for a long time, but I don't know anyone who is like, oh, thank God we have like 6 different gnomes just to pick from. And obviously they added the gnomes to the Harvest Fest holiday, which is always really stressful. Some people have like totally figured out which gnome wants which present, and their Sims never get electrocuted ever. I'll try to remember, and it's a failure every time. My Sims get struck by lightning like 3 times a day on Harvest Fest. I'm surprised they haven't died. I've also never had a Sim get the lightning superpowers that you can get from being struck more than once. That came with seasons. I've never had that happen. Kind of want that to happen. I think that'd be pretty neat, but my Sims are never that lucky or that cool. At least they have never died because of being struck by lightning. I haven't actually lost a Sim to lightning like that before. So good for them. Harvest Fest is not the day to die. I think one day I was playing Harvest Fest with one of my Sims families. I think it was my Not So Berry save. And the cat in the household, who was already an elder, died of old age on Harvest Fest, and I was just like, no, this is the worst possible day to do this. Why would you do this to these poor children living in this household? I was deeply upset. I already don't like the idea of animals dying in general, and then, you know, I get super attached to an animal that I made for my Sims, and it just goes and dies on me. It's awful. I had a dog once in one of my households that I loved so much, and she looked a lot like an actual dog that I know in real life who I love and would die for. So I kept giving her like the age down treats from the vet because I was just like, we are not allowed to lose this dog. This dog is the backbone of my Sims gameplay. Finally, I let her go beyond and run around in the big doggy park in the sky. But it took like 3 generations before I was emotionally able to let her go. So that is why I should never have my Sims have pets, because I'm just stressed out the whole time. Honestly, the pets really do stress me out. Like sometimes when I have a dog in the household and they want to go on a walk and they look so sad, and my Sim does not have time to give this dog a walk, but I end up giving them, I just tell them like, go on a long walk. I'm sorry, this is not my decision. This is all you, friend. So I think that'd also be me in real life. I have a cat and that's it. I would love to have a dog, but I don't think right now I have enough time to devote to a dog. And we also live in a apartment, which is a nice apartment, but it is pretty small. We don't have any room for a dog here, and we don't have a backyard of any kind. Although my apartment complex has cute little walking trails, and there's definitely a dog park I can see from even just like my bedroom window here. So having a dog here is great. I think a lot of dogs here are super happy, but we live on the 3rd floor. We would feel bad. We just wouldn't be able to give enough attention to a dog. So maybe someday. My cat would also never forgive me for getting another pet in the household. She is very much a 1-cat household type cat. She's been my cat for a long time. She used to live at my parents' house with me, and every time a cat would come up from the streets and just be like checking out the inside of our windows, Panda would go ham. She would puff herself up and like meow in such a way that I felt fear in my blood. And the cat outside was always just super unimpressed. They did not care. So it was pretty funny to watch. She's very happy here because we, again, live on the 3rd floor. And if there was a cat on our balcony, I would be shocked. Especially because we actually have like screened in balconies. So they would have to punch their way through our screen mesh, which I can see that happening. Cats truly don't care about property damage from my experience in life. Here, I think we're placing down a fountain in the red side's garden. This is like one of the big centerpieces on that garden from the movie. I think that is where Juliet is on the red side. I think she stands on top of the fountain and holds like a flower in the air. That's her thing. So I made the fountain. I wanted it to be an important part of the video. My video is actually frozen on me, so I have no idea what you're currently watching, but I know that we're on the red side of the garden, so the fountain is important, and they also have this really big boat in the yard, which is kind of like hollowed out, and it has flowers growing up through it. I didn't include that because I didn't feel like it would fit in this tiny little garden all that well, but that is another big part of the Gnomeo and Juliet back garden thing. The wishing well is in the middle of the yard, so I decided to just go with the wishing well. I also, when I placed this well down from Get Together, I realized, I think it's from Get Together anyway, yeah, it looks like it is. I realized, I was like, I have literally never used this object before, because every time I want to have a well, I get the actual well, the one that you can like literally go and get wishes from I think Romantic Garden stuff. So this cute little well was here all this time, and I didn't really ever notice it before, so that was one of the fun things about this build, is I had to use a lot of objects that I just sort of forgot about or have never had a reason to use before. I also enjoyed the landscaping a lot for here. It was fun. Definitely used a lot of the Romantic Garden stuff landscaping. Those flowers are perfect for when you just need to fill in a ton of space with some foliage. So that was fun. They have these little back garden sheds too. I did furnish the inside of them. They kind of just have like random stuff in them. Oh, and here I used the Show Live Edit Objects cheat to get these garden stepping stone paths from the like debug catalog. Those are really awesome. I think they look great. I think they look better than when people use that like stone circle rug piece from Get Together as stepping stones, because these just look like a more natural formation. So I'm really happy we have that option of using debug's items. So that was helpful in making this little back garden come to life. And then I used the terrain paint to make sort of a like, what is that called? I'm not sure, but it's almost like a crop formation of lines. And that's something that I saw in some of the reference images. Thought it was really cute and wanted to recreate it. But yeah, so I think we're coming to the end of the build here soon, so I guess I'll start signing off for you guys. I will be uploading the furnishing footage that I got from this build. I'll be putting that up hopefully next week. I don't know when this video is going to go up, but whenever it does, a week from then, hopefully you will have the option to watch the inside furnishing if you would so like to, and I'll tell you all about my Sims and their crazy backstories that I decided that they had. But I am gonna probably sign off here. There are some screenshots at the end where you can see everything from a nice little sim view, and also you can take a sneak peek at the inside furnishing. So it's been great talking to you guys. I can't wait to do more videos. This is Amy signing off. Have a great day, everyone.